Tiffany Haddish. What's the first thing that popped into your head just now? The first black female stand-up comedian to host Saturday Night Live, or the last black unicorn that she's written as a memoir about her life? Perhaps not even a single one of them made a blip on your mental radar. Tiffany is a well-known personality for her hilarious and raunchy sense of humor. She is an absolute riot. Her infectious energy and sharp wit can get you laughing out loud from the beginning. And it's no wonder she's made such a name for herself in the industry. What piqued your interest enough to hit the play button? Let's have a look right now. Have you ever heard about Tiffany Haddish's recent troubles? The actress and comedian have been having a rough time lately. Last year, she was accused of creepy behavior, and things have only gone downhill. Not only has she been allegedly blacklisted by Hollywood, but she also reportedly had a full-on meltdown about the situation. It's a shame to see someone who was once known for their humor and wholesomeness fall from grace like this. It's hard to imagine that just a few short years ago, everyone couldn't get enough of Tiffany's infectious energy and hilarious antics. But now it seems like her career is in shambles, and her reputation is in tatters. Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears were recently sued by a young woman who chose to be known as Jane Doe, claiming that the two had forced her and her younger brother John Doe to create some very disturbing content. According to Jane, Tiffany had met their mother when she and John were still kids, and the two women became friends because they were both divorced. They were so close that Tiffany would invite them to visit her every Christmas and birthday. Tiffany learned that Jane and John both wanted to try their hands at acting and being a friend of the family who was already making a name for themselves in Hollywood. She told the kids' mother that she wanted to help them out. She helped Jane land a role in a TV commercial, and because the mother trusted her so much, she allowed Jane to go to the shoot unaccompanied. This act turned out to be a very big mistake, and there were a lot of red flags about the commercial. The biggest red flag was that Tiffany didn't tell Jane or her mother about the commercial, so Jane was completely blank. Tiffany was a family friend, so the family believed Jane was safe. Jane arrived at the location, and to her surprise, she was asked to observe a group of young girls who were already filming. Jane recalls the incident. The girls were arguing about a hoagie sandwich and started eating the sandwich from opposite ends, along with some suggestive sounds. Jane was then asked to repeat what she had watched over, but the girl was so nervous that she couldn't. She claimed that Tiffany had come into the room to show her how to eat this sandwich, adding in the suggestive sounds and even more hand movements. Still, Jane could not repeat it because the entire act had made her extremely uncomfortable. Tiffany was mad and sent Jane on her way, giving her $100. Jane was safe physically. The shoot exposed her to inappropriate and disturbing content that she shouldn't have been exposed to, being a 14-year-old. Jane claimed she refrained from telling her mom because the 14-year-old girl was weirded out. Later, Tiffany reached out to say that they helped John land a role in a shoot for Nickelodeon. This turned out to be a lie. While John did film a video, it had nothing to do with Nickelodeon. It was instead posted on the site of Funny or Die. Well, you might know the site well and the dark humor. The video turned out to be so creepy and disturbing that Funny or Die released a statement. They said, "Funny or Die found this video disgusting and we would never produce such disgusting content. We were not involved with this video's conceptualization, development, funding, or production. It was uploaded on the site as user-generated content and was removed in 2018 immediately after becoming aware of its existence." The entire video was just creepy, involving John being in his underwear for the most part unnecessarily. Aries was also creepy by getting into the tub with the boy, rubbing baby oil on John's body, and acting out strangely. Both siblings claimed they were terrified by this incident. Being minors then, they couldn't file a lawsuit, so it took so long years for them to come forward. From what we do know, it's clear that Tiffany's actions had some serious consequences. It's a sad situation all around, and whether Tiffany can bounce back from this remains to be seen. But one thing's for sure, she got a lot of work to do if she wants to regain the trust of her fans and colleagues. Tiffany had been cancelled by people over the revelations from the lawsuit. Not just that, Tiffany has been more or less blacklisted from Hollywood because she hasn't been booking roles like she used to before the lawsuit. When it was announced that she would be returning for Girls Trip 2, the producers got a crazy amount of backlash and angry comments, with people asking and signing petitions for Tiffany's character to be written out of the movie because of the lawsuit. She has even admitted that her career has tanked and can no longer book jobs. She stated, "Oh, I lost everything. All my gigs are gone." Tiffany Haddish seems to have gone broke after Hollywood canceled her and was desperately trying to do some damage control. People don't feel sorry for her because they feel like she brought this on herself, and they love comments like Tiffany got what she deserved. She crossed the line, you don't mess with the babies, period. Tiffany should not have placed those children in harm's way. It's not important to the public if she comes back or not. I don't feel bad for her, she did this to be big and famous, Cat Williams pointed out. Most of her former fans want nothing to do with her. One fan commented, "There's no coming back from this, like there's no way anyone can make excuses for this. It's sick and unfortunate." Tiffany released 2 statements under her lawyer. Plaintiff's mother has been trying to assert these fraudulent claims against Ms. Haddish for several years. Every attorney who had initially taken on her case, and there were several, ultimately dropped the matter once he became clear that the claims were meritless and Ms. Haddish would not be shaken down. Now, Ms. Morris has her adult daughter representing herself in this lawsuit. Together, the two will face the consequences of pursuing this frivolous action. She also released another statement on Instagram. "I know people have a bunch of questions. I get it. I'm right here with you. Unfortunately, because there is an ongoing legal case, there's very little that I can say right now. But while this sketch was intended to be comedic, it wasn't funny at all, and I deeply regret agreeing to act in it. I look forward to being able to share a lot more about the situation as soon as I can." Jane had a lot of people on her side, but for some reason, she dismissed the dispute, saying, "My family and I have known Tiffany Haddish for many years, and we now would know that she would never harm me or could harm us. We wish Tiffany the best and are glad we can all put this behind us." This was of utmost disappointment to the people who supported her. Tiffany paid her off to avoid a lump sum amount. Who knows what the story behind it is? Looks like Jane is no longer holding the grudge, but people are. It will be exciting to see how Tiffany plans to do the damage control before completing Girls Trip 2. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Stay tuned for more.